Welcome, students. How are you today? I know you are washing your hands and staying safe. Last week, you saw a lot of pictorial illustrations on worship and you got familiarized with Koema. Do you still remember the full meaning of that acronym, Koema? Of course, I know you do. Okay. It means C for content, O for organization, E for expression, and MA for mechanical accuracy. Okay, today you'll be introduced to punctuation marks. What is punctuation? And why do you need to use the punctuation marks while writing any given material? Punctuation is the use of special marks or signs to divide a writing into sentences, clauses, or phrases. You might want to ask, Auntie Akana, what do you mean by clauses? Okay, a clause is a group of words that does not contain a finite verb, but it makes a complete sense. Okay, it's the opposite of a phrase that does not contain a verb or a finite verb. A phrase, of course, does not make a complete thought. Okay. In this particular exercise, we'll be looking at different types of punctuation marks. In fact, we'll be looking at 14 types of punctuations. They are the period, which is also known as the full stop. The period is also known as the full stop, and it is used at the end of a sentence or a statement or an abbreviation. When you say abbreviation such as Mr., you put a dot in front of Mr. That's an abbreviation. Or UPSS, you put a dot in between the letters. Example, he is a nuisance is a statement. So you should end it with a full stop. I am coming home now is a statement. So you should take a full stop. Next is the question mark. What is the question mark? The question mark is usually an interrogative sign used to end the end of a question or an interrogative statement. I'm sure you are used to this already. Anytime you ask a question or you write an interrogative statement, it should end with a question mark. Example, are you coming soon? Have they arrived yet? Is mommy in the kitchen? All these are interrogative statements or questions, so they must take question marks. Okay, the next is exclamation mark. The exclamation is always connected to the interjection. I hope you remember what interjections are. They are words that end, that express strong feelings. Okay, so the exclamation mark is used to end a sentence or a statement that expresses strong feeling or emotion, or a statement that ends with a command. Example, what a nice man he is. Sit down. John, stand up. Those are words, sentences that would take exclamation mark. The next is the comma. The comma is used to separate the item in a list or to show where there is a slight pause in a sentence or a speech. Okay? Like when you want to go to the market to buy something or you bought something, you could write a sentence like this. She went to the market and bought biro, comma, pen, comma, ruler, comma, eraser, and a pencil. Okay? You have used the comma to separate the lists in this sentence. The next is the semicolon. What is the semicolon? The semicolon is a punctuation mark that indicates a pause that is stronger than a comma but shorter than the full stop. Remember, the full stop has a longer pause than a comma. Okay? So example, to err is human, to forgive is divine. This punctuation mark usually could be replaced by coordinating conjunctions such as and, yet, or but in a sentence. Okay, let's look at the apostrophe. Apostrophe is used for marking omission in shortened words or to show possessive forms of a noun or a noun phrase. They are used to show possessive forms, such as my father's car. My father's car indicates that the car is owned by my father, the car that belongs to my father. Or sometimes it could show the plural form of giving some group of words. Okay, here we're looking at quotation marks now, or inverted commas, which are used to enclose direct speech or the titles of books or poems. Example, I will come tomorrow, said John. You can see that this is a direct speech, which was said by John. So we use what? The inverted commas. Okay? I'm sure you have your own example to give. Okay. Next is the hyphen. The hyphen is used to form a compound word from two or more words, such as hard-hearted, go between, brother-in-law, 55, passers-by, guests of honor. Can you think of other words or two or more words that could be joined with a hyphen? I'm sure you can do that. Okay, now let's look at the dash. The dash is used to indicate a sudden or an abrupt change of thought. It is used to indicate an abrupt change or sudden change of thought. Example, let's look at an example here. Example could be, his aim was to pass the examination. His aim was to pass the examination, an aim that meant hard work and application. An aim that meant hard work and application. You can see that these two sentences are connected, but there's an abrupt change of thought by the speaker. Okay, next is the three dots, also known as ellipsis. The three dots is also known as ellipsis. The three dots are used to indicate that words have been omitted, especially from a quotation or at the beginning of a conversation. The three dots are used to indicate that words have been omitted, especially from a quotation or at the beginning of a conversation. For example, to be or not to be, that is the question, ... Now, the ellipsis is only three dots and never four dots or two dots. Remember that, so you don't add a full stop at the end of an ellipsis, okay? All right. Okay, so the next punctuation mark we're looking at is the caret. The caret is used to indicate that an additional material needs to be inserted at a particular point in a written text, okay? Maybe at the process of writing, you omitted a particular word or a group of words. What do you use? You insert a caret and write the word that is missing. Good. The next is the brackets. The brackets is a sign used to enclose expression. The brackets and parentheses as well as the braces function together. They do the same thing. They are used to enclose expressions which are incidental, explanatory, or supplementary to the main thought. Okay? That is the use of the brackets and parentheses. They are used to enclose expressions. That is usually the function. Okay? So you can, in this sentence in front of you, the school uniform costs 6,000 naira. You can see that there's 6,000 naira in the bracket or in parentheses is an explanation of the total that's written in words. Good. Okay, we move on to the next punctuation mark, which is the colon. The colon is used to introduce a list, summary, or an explanation, or before reporting what somebody has said. Most of your drama books, usually the writer uses the colon to introduce what the next a character is saying or what the next character has said. Okay. Now let's look at an example that I have here for you. Do you have any example? Have you seen use the colon before? Okay, let's look at the example I have here. Here is what we have on hand. I put a colon. I want to introduce the list of what I have on hand. 1 hammer, comma, 3 screwdrivers, comma, 1 saw, and a digger. You can see that I use the colon to introduce a list. This is a list of the things I have. Sometimes also, you can also use it when you are writing a drama. Okay. The next is the slash. The slash is a symbol that shows alternative. It's usually used to show alternative. Instead of writing or, you use the slash. You or he will be fixing the dinner tonight. Okay? If you remove the or there in this sentence, you will use the slash. So the slash symbol usually shows alternative. Okay? With this, we come to the end of this beautiful class. Next week, we'll be looking at verbs. I'm sure you know how to define a verb. Okay? Have a lovely week. Bye.